Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today we continue our intrepid journey through the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition with issue number 12, published in 1986 by Marvel Comics. And here we see the transition from John Byrne as the cover artist for the first 11 issues to now Ron Frenz, the great Ron Frenz, Pittsburgh area product, picks up the ball from John Byrne and moves forward with cover duties for the rest of the series. And this is a fantastic cover by Ron Frenz. Doesn't miss a beat from the Byrne covers. Really nice stuff. You can definitely see the difference in figure work. There's just a different style there. But he's an incredibly accomplished artist, and I really enjoy the covers moving forward on the series from 12 to the end. So let's dive in. We have a column, Optimal Conditions, from Mark Grunwald. I'll read just a bit of it. But before that, let's go through our creators. Mark Grunwald, writer-producer. Peter Sanderson, writer-researcher. Elliot Brown, technical illustrator. Joe Rubenstein, inker. Andy Yanchus, colorist. James Fry, art enhancer. And here we are with Mark Grunwald's column on the front piece. Every once in a while, amidst the burgeoning stack of data corrections that you eagle-eyed readers send in, I receive a letter that goes something like this. Thank you for publishing the strength levels of all the characters. Now I know who would win in a fight. Whoa, slow down. Wait a minute there. Since when, I ask those readers who have commented thusly, is strength the sole determining factor in winning battles? And it kind of goes on there to sort of discuss. It's a pretty interesting discussion, too, of how characters' strength levels relate to their combat abilities and whatnot. So it's fun. It's definitely fun comic store banter fodder here to bring this up when you're arguing with your buddies about who can beat whom in what battle. And I should say, too, this issue covers Sif to Sunspot, so we're deep into the S's here. So we start with Sif with a beautiful illustration from Walt Simonson, who was doing Thor still at this point and on his epic run in Thor. Her first appearance was Journey into Mystery 102, so she's a very storied Marvel character. Occupation Warrior, Shield Maiden. Let's see what else is interesting here. Oh, yes, Heimdall is her brother. He's the other Asgardian god, Heimdall, who guards the Rainbow Bridge. Base of operations, of course, Asgard. And we get plenty of cool Walt Simonson panels here featuring Sif. This might be a Keith Pollard here. And strength level. Sif possesses the normal strength of an Asgardian woman, goddess, of her physical height, age, height, and build, who engages in intensive regular exercise. She can lift press 30 tons. The average Asgardian woman can lift press about 25. So she actually is stronger than the average Asgardian female. So she's a powerhouse. Silvermane, fantastic Spider-Man villain. Silvio Manfredi, criminal organizer and mastermind. Publicly known. His identity is publicly known. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 73. He can lift press about 15 tons in his cybernetic body. So pretty cool. And he's got a number of other powers related to that cybernetic body. Great Silver Sable here. That looks like, what was that? Let's see. That is Ron Frenz. I was almost tempted to say that was Paul Smith, but man, Ron Frenz is really crushing this figure. I love the Silver Sable character. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 265. So that wasn't long before the publication of this volume. But they got her in here. And I think she's been, for years since her appearance, has shown up in some pretty cool Spider-Man stories. I do like her. Leader of the Wild Pack. Citizen of Symkaria with no criminal record. So that's one of Marvel's fictitious Eastern European countries, Symkaria. 5'5", 125 pounds. Eyes blue, hair silver. Silver Sable possesses the normal human strength of a woman of her age, height, and build who engages in intensive regular exercise. She is a highly skilled unarmed combatant, marksman, swordsman, and gymnast. And this is an awesome Silver Samurai by Michael Golden. I love Michael Golden's work. If you haven't checked it out already, check out my video from a few episodes ago where I uncover Michael Golden's first official Marvel work in a Marvel Literary Masterpieces edition. Very cool. But this Silver Samurai, excellent. Always been a favorite villain of mine. Really great for my Villain Mission Force games. He will show up from time to time. I would put him firmly in that second tier, maybe the high third tier villains. If you say first tier are your elite villains like Doctor Doom, I'd put Silver Samurai maybe in the high end of the third tier. But a great character, rival of Wolverine. We get a great Paul Smith panel here from their epic battle in X-Men 173. Awesome Silver Surfer by John Byrne, and we get some Byrne panels here. And a mix of some other artists, including some Kirby, some Buscema. Very cool stuff. Silver Surfer can augment the strength of his cosmic energy-powered body to a degree that rivals the Hulk's formidable rage-enhanced strength. Hence, the Surfer can endow himself with Class 100 strength. And he has a host of other cosmic powers. I mean, he gets a very lengthy entry, including a mini entry on his board here. And first appearance was Silver Surfer Volume 1, Number 1. No, that's his origin, sorry. First appearance is Fantastic Four 48. And first appearance of Silver Samurai was Daredevil 111. That might be one worth tracking down, actually. Might be somewhat affordable still. It's probably a Gene Colan issue, too, which would be great. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man 107 was the first appearance of Sin Eater, a very creepy and controversial villain. He, I believe he killed Jean DeWolf. It was really a pretty hard-hitting storyline that he appeared in that resulted in her death. Great character in terms of being just a creepy, weird villain. Sin Eater possesses heightened normal level strength and able to lift press approximately 800 pounds under optimal conditions. I guess he was a SHIELD agent. Little entry here on the Sinister Syndicate. I wonder if that's Ron Friends on our floating heads or Sal Buscema maybe. Let me see here. Oh, Ron Friends. Excellent job, Ron. Siren with a lovely Steve Leialoha drawing here. Very cool. First appearance, Spider-Woman number 37. And that, I believe Steve Leialoha handled the art chores on that issue, and I think this is a panel from that issue. Here she is working out in the danger room. Pretty cool. She's Banshee's daughter. Nice entry here on the Skrulls. Plenty of Byrne, including Raxor from the Immortal X-Men 137. When he illegally gets involved in the contest between the X-Men and the Imperial Guard. Probably ordered to do so by the Skrull Empire is my guess. What's cool is in Fantastic Four Annual number 18, Raxor, who's shown in this panel here, transforming from Storm back into his normal Skrull form. The battle between Raxor and Beldon, who is shown here, is fully played out in a great story written by John Byrne, penciled by Mark Bright, inked by Mike Gustovich. Really cool FF Annual. It's one I'd like to cover on the show at some point. Slide, another excellent Ron Friends piece here. He is another one of those latter Spider-Man villains. Amazing Spider-Man 272 was his first appearance. You know, Spider-Man has his stable of classic villains. The Sinister Syndicate, who we just looked at, would probably be almost a second-tier group of Spider-Man villains. But that first group, you know, Doc Ock, Electro, the Scorpion, Mysterio, those, of course, Green Goblin, those characters. But they can't always keep showing up. So you've got to kind of create, break new ground and create new characters. And Slide was sort of an attempt at one of those characters. Slide possesses the normal human strength of a man of his height and build who engages in intensive exercise. Slide's costume and boots are coated with a friction-eliminating chemical that allows him to skate rapidly over any surface with great speed. So he basically he's got a kind of a neat gimmick here. He can go up to 30 miles an hour. The Smart Ship Friday, first appearance, Power Pack number 1. I guess it's related to how they got their powers from the aliens. The Snarks, who are also Power Pack villains. Sons of the Tiger, very cool group of martial arts heroes taking sort of advantage of the 70s martial arts craze. This is actually George Perez figure work here on these. First appearance, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 1, and there's a cool shot of their jade totems. And of course, the White Tiger was he was kind of a supernatural being that I think they could all sort of emerge into. Oh no, okay, he is a distinct and different person, Hector Ayala. Soviet Super Soldiers. Who is this? Jackson Geis artwork? Let's take a look here. Art Nichols. Nice work on the floating heads here by Art Nichols. And they appeared first in Hulk 258. And here we have all of the Space Knights listed from ROM. And as I said in a previous video, as of the recording of this, we're only about a week on from the announcement that ROM was back in Marvel's control, and they're going to publish an omnibus featuring ROM, all of the issues of his series, and maybe some of his other appearances across Marvel. So that's cool. Space Phantom. First appearance, Avengers number 2. Origin, Thor number 281. But the real dynamics behind the Space Phantom's mission are delved more deeply into in the awesome Avengers Forever by Kurt Busiek and Carlos Pacheco. Who does the Space Phantom? It's such a distinctive piece of art. Frank Miller. Wow, pretty cool. Frank Miller artwork there. Speed Demon. This is a Carmine Infantino piece here. He can leg press 1,000 pounds and lift press approximately 800 pounds. James Sanders, first appearance as the Wizard, Avengers number 70, as Speed Demon, Amazing Spider-Man 222. And let's see how fast. He can run at 160 miles an hour, according to this. Note, Speed Demon, whoops, sorry about that, folks. Speed Demon should not be confused with the Wizard, Robert Frank, of the Invaders in Liberty Legion, now deceased. We have a great Spider-Man here from Ron Frenz. We get both costumes, the black alien costume and the classic costume. It's cool that they made the decision to do that. Spider-Man possesses superhuman strength, enabling him to lift press approximately 10 tons. First appearance in Origin, Amazing Fantasy 15. He is a freelance photographer and adventurer. And we get a very lengthy 4-page entry on him, including some really great Elliot Brown drawings of his equipment and gear. His belt that holds the cartridges for his web shooter fluid and his web shooters and how they work. It's all really clearly explained here. Very cool stuff. Nice burn panel here. Webbing up Doc Ock. And we get the second Spider-Woman. At this point, real name unrevealed. Former government agent, previous and current occupation unknown. First appearance in silhouette, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 6, fully revealed Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 7. Spider-Woman possesses superhuman strength, enabling her to lift press at least 10 tons, although the limits of her strength still remain unknown. Spider-Woman has the ability to mentally control the flux of interatomic attraction between molecular boundary layers. This ability to affect the attraction between surfaces is limited to Spider-Woman's body and another object. So that basically explains how she can cling to surfaces. She can also create a web of psionic energy through a combination of mental concentration and physical gesturing. Very cool. I like how her costume kind of calls back to the Spider-Man alien costume, although it is not a symbiote like Spider-Man's costume. And who draws her? Mike Zack. I should have known. That's a great Zack piece. Really cool. Here we get an Art Adams Spiral, one of those characters from the Mojo series, later became a member of Freedom Force. Cool character. Sprite, another one of those Eternals of Earth. Sprite possesses superhuman strength comparable to that of an eternal boy of his physical age, height, and build who engages in no exercise. He can lift press about 5 tons. So, just for frame of reference, Sprite is actually stronger than Luke Cage, which I think is a crime. But there you have it. Sprite also has vast energy powers that let him manipulate matter and do illusions and other things. First appearance, Eternals Volume 1, number 9. And he's like the classic forever child, like kind of like Peter Pan. Spy Master. This is a great piece. I looked this up earlier. It's by artist Henry Bismuth, whose work I'm not really very familiar with. Yeah, Henry Bismuth, Spy Master. So that's a really nice piece of art right there. Cool figure work. First appearance, Iron Man 33. Abilities. Spy Master is a master of all the arts of espionage, including disguise, surveillance techniques, lockpicking, and explosives. He's a superb hand-to-hand combatant and an expert marksman at all types of weaponry, especially handguns. He's also a skilled pilot and stunt driver. He's a pretty cool character, and he's given Iron Man a hard time many times. We have a great, looks like Bob Layton, John Romita Jr. panel here. And we have a nice lengthy entry on the Squadron Supreme, and of course you would expect you would in this series because they are Mark Gruenwald's babies. This is probably around the time the 12-issue maxi series is going on. This is coming out. So we don't have all the outcomes in the maxi series, I think, reflected in these entries. For instance, Nighthawk is listed, and spoiler alert, Nighthawk dies at the end of the series. But you do have Hyperion with his glasses on because he had been blinded in his battle with the original Hyperion. This is ridiculous here. Superhuman can lift press about 75 tons. He's way stronger than that. He should be the equivalent of Thor, but I'm not sure why they did that. Great Power Princess here. And by the way, these are all Paul Ryan figures. Very cool. Power Princess, first appearance, Defenders 112. She can lift press about 20 tons. The Skrull, first appearance, Squadron Supreme number 1. So yeah, he basically only appears in a flashback. And since this is the Marvel analog to the Justice League, the Skrull, who I think was at some point called the Skrullian Skymaster, maybe on somewhere, I'm remembering that. He would have been Martian Manhunter, TC, John Johns. So, nice figures here, some cool characters. Yeah. Tom Thumb, one of my favorite characters. They don't show him in the classic costume anymore. They just show him in his work fatigues. First appearance, Avengers 85. And let's see. It does mention here that he died of brain cancer, so let me see. Yeah, it also mentions that Nighthawk is dead too. So instead of including the dead members in the Book of the Dead, they just put them all here, and they make a note in their write-ups about what their fate was at the end of the series. Apex, cool character. I'm a sucker for ape characters. Nuke was killed. Quagmire. He's one of those villains they turned into a hero. Redstone, I love the design on this character, really cool. He can lift press approximately 75 tons. And here we get a nice write-up of, or drawing of Squadron City where they're based. Stain International, we get a write-up of the rival to Stark Industries, and we get a nice map of their industrial complex. Star Fox, great Jim Starlin artwork there. That's a Buscema panel. 6'1", 190 pounds. First appearance, Iron Man 55, and that would have been the first appearance of Thanos too. So he's an old character in Marvel lore. Became an Avenger eventually, had a long run on the team. Noted for his ability to manipulate the pleasure centers of people's brains, a somewhat controversial ability. But he can also lift press 15 tons, and he can fly at incredible speeds. And unlike the Eternals of Earth, he doesn't have their vast energy manipulating powers. He's a Titanian Eternal. Right up on the Starjammers, very cool. This looks like Dave Cockrum here, and it would be fitting if he did this one. Yeah, it is. Great. So it was nice that they assigned Dave Cockrum this, because the Starjammers are really his baby. He created them, the visual look for them. They're very cool space pirates. Always loved space pirates. Sucker for that whole idea of space pirates. Chod, visually a pretty cool character. He can lift press 20 tons. First appearance, X-Men 104. I wonder if they all have that first appearance of X-Men 104 here. X-Men 107, X-Men 107. I wonder if he really did appear in X-Men 104, or if this is a typo. I'll have to double check that. Sikorsky, first appearance, X-Men 156. Oh, and now we've come to our entry on the Stilt Man, one of the, in my mind, lamest villains in Marvel history. Very cool, though, that he gets a pretty lengthy write-up here. Wilbur Day, first appearance in Origin, Daredevil number 8. He can lift press 1,500 pounds with the suit on. There's a great issue of Champions with Byrne Art where he slugs it out with Black Goliath. It's really pretty cool. Great entry on Stingray, one of the coolest costumes, I think, or at least battle suits Marvel's ever produced. He can lift press 20 tons under optimal conditions. This is Dr. Walter Newell. First appearance as Walter Newell, Tales to Astonish 95, as Submariner number 19. Or as Stingray, Submariner number 19. Very cool character. Oceanographer, occasional adventurer. Great Storm entry from Paul Smith. She gets a nice long entry here. We get a great Stranger entry from Mike Zeck. I love the Stranger, one of my favorite of the Marvel Cosmic characters. He's been in so many different stories. Really cool looking character. And he's sort of been a catalyst or pot stirrer in Marvel history. We get a nice Submariner here from John Byrne. A lot of different panels here. That's Byrne. That's Buscema, or that might be Dave Ross from Alpha Flight. That's a great Kirby panel right there. That's a great straight-on panel there. Another Kirby above it. Like all Atlanteans, Namor has pointed ears. He also has 2 vestigial wings growing from each ankle, a mutant characteristic. What is his first appearance? He's an old Marvel character. First modern appearance, Fantastic Four number 4, but he did have some Golden Age action. They brought him. He's one of those characters Stan and Jack brought back from the Golden Age. Submariner possesses vast superhuman strength, enabling to lift press approximately 85 tons underwater or in air while still wet. Once he dries out, his strength rapidly decreases. He can press 40 tons in that state. The Subterraneans, you got your Moloids who hang out with the Mole Man, and then you have your Tyrannoids who hang out with Tyrannus, the sort of the Mole Man's main subterranean rival. First appearance, X-Men number 41. That's the Gortokians. The Lava Men, Journey into Mystery 97. The Moloids, Fantastic Four number 24. The Tyrannoids, Hulk number 5. Nice Sunder entry here from Paul Smith, really cool. Sunder possesses superhuman strength, the exact extent of which is unknown. First appearance, X-Men 169, which was one of my first X-Men comics that I bought off the rack. My very first X-Men comic was X-Men 153, which I got in a bag of coverless comics, I think from G.C. Murphy or some other store. Sunfire, great mutant character. Who draws Sunfire? Sandy Plunkett. Cool job there. And Sunspot, awesome character. Originally appeared in Marvel graphic novel number 4, The New Mutants. Let's see, that's a Bob McLeod drawing, very cool. And they get into a lengthy discussion about how his powers work, but they never really, I think, discuss his strength level, and in the strength level category is I think is missed out here. So probably an omission. I think in the previous volume of the official handbook, he could lift press 2.5 tons. And appendix, other dimensions. Let's read about Rome World. In this alternate world, the Roman Empire never fell. It is basically the same technology as our world, but the political system is very different. Doctor Strange number 46 with its first appearance. Alternate Earth, Earth-like environment, magic. So that has been our read-through of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Deluxe Edition number 12. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, comment, let me know what you think of some of the characters covered here, and what you'd like me to cover in the future on the show. Take care, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.